Good morning, gang. I'm already on my morning walk. It's going to be a 35-degree day in London today, so come with me for what I eat in a day. Good morning, lovely people. I feel like I haven't done one of these for ages because summer just ends up being so fragmented, and obviously all of the travel. I'm actually writing another recipe book right now, which takes up a lot of my time, and I'm also developing an app. So I've been kind of doing a lot of behind the work scenes. Then I was obviously away in Peru, which I have done long form content for, which I need to edit because there's a lot to edit there, but that was literally just like life changing. But I thought today is the day, probably not the best day because it's going to be 35 degrees. So cooking and being in the kitchen is not going to be that pleasant because I can't turn my fan on either because of Mike. This morning I took, of course, every single day, trusty Epitome. And then I'm also taking some astaxanthin at the moment. This is basically what makes salmon pink. And it's a really potent antioxidant that can sit within the skin. So that's my little supplement stack. I think I'm gonna do a kind of like a guacamole, like avocado toast, but mix in some cottage cheese to boost the protein content. Really standard formula. Again, trying to hit those high protein, high fibre targets for my breakfast. Then I've got a really busy day. I'm actually going to the Sheerlux offices in Clapham because I'm shooting something called Cafe Confessions and then doing a TikTok live with them. So then I'll be back home probably around 2:30, so a little bit of a later one. So I need something that I'm gonna eat now that's gonna keep me kind of really fueled and ready all morning. So let's go. I've got my stuff that I need for my avocado mix. I'm gonna put some avocado, spring onion, fresh dill and parsley because I always love to incorporate fresh herbs into things. They taste amazing, but they're also a really brilliant source of antioxidants and certain nutrients. And if you eat the stems of things like parsley, there's more fibre in those than the fresh leaves. So a lot of chefs would be like, hey, make sure you just use the leaf, but actually as a nutritionist I'm like, no, eat the stem as well. They do taste amazing and they are more fibrous, and more fibre is what we want always. Then all things cottage cheese, the full fat version, the best cottage cheese in the whole wide world. And then because I love that kind of combination of salty and sweet, especially with like an avocado or guacamole mix, I'm going to be adding some of the Chili Brothers smoked maga hop syrups. This is a smoked, I can't speak this morning. This is a smoked maple syrup. Eggs, bulk out with extra egg whites just to get an extra kick of proteins. Always try to like get about kind of like 25 to 30 grams of protein for my breakfast, and then pairing it with some sourdough. And this is pre-sliced sourdough. I actually buy the whole loaf and I chop it up myself, store it in my silicone bags. I've actually got no space in my freezer, so this has been in my fridge. It's a little bit more dry, but it still holds really, really well in these. This is about kind of 6 days old. And then all I do is I'll wet my hands, kind of pat the bread, and it will refreshen it. I do a nice couple of slices of that, and that's going to be a perfectly lovely balanced breakfast. So let's start with the guacamole. Dice up my spring onion first, adding those to my bowl. Handful of those fresh herbs. You can use whatever herbs you like. Basil would work really well. Coriander would work really well. I don't know what I did to this poor avocado. Pop him in. A little bit of that Smoking Brothers chili maple syrup. Of course, the all things cottage cheese. And then just mash it all together. You'll see you just get this lovely thick mix. And she is just perfect for piling onto a nice bit of toast. But I've got my avocado, healthy fats, great source of fibre as well. Then the cottage cheese, really great source of protein, but I'm also getting in all of that calcium, all of those key vitamins, and full fat dairy is really good for you. Then I've got my fresh herbs, which are giving me that kick of antioxidants, that boost of fibre, and the flavour coming from that smoked maple syrup, which is just going to make this super enjoyable, kind of salty, sweet, creamy, every single thing that I want to put onto toast, and pairs like a dream with eggs. So I'm going to do a couple of eggs with a nice little splash of this. Unfortunately, I'm down to, you know, when you get like the dregs of the toast, where you literally have like the butt. So I'm going to have to try and kind of hodgepodge a couple of slices together. So I'm just gonna patch these with a little bit of water, and that will refreshen them, and I can stick them into the air fryer. I normally just do it by eye. Salt. Scrambled eggs are done. That is my favourite method to do them. I like them a little bit more set, but still a bit custardy. So I always just use the spatula and use like a pushing motion. So then I end up grouping everything into one side of the pan. This is just a cast iron. This is my favourite way to do eggs. Sometimes I feel like it's non-stick, and then sometimes if maybe my husband or my cleaner washes it with washing up liquid, which is a no-no when it comes to cast iron, it can get a little bit less non-stick, which I think has happened here, but the result is still pretty much the same. Then I add a tiny little splash of water, and then the steam actually cooks the rest of the egg. So you can get that really nice ribbons, so it's a little bit more textural, but you still get those lovely soft custardy parts. I normally do the rule of 3 when it comes to 3 plants. I have my herbs, I've got my avocado. I do have a few amount of seeds on my toast, but I think I'm just gonna add 1 more veg. Also gonna be having an iced coffee. So I've got some tomatoes, so I just add some tomatoes. Then I've also got that extra pop of colour because I always say eat the rainbow. Nice sourdough. I'm just going to take a scoop of that avocado mix, load him on. Lovely breakfast with my tomatoes, scrambled eggs, and that avocado cottage cheese toast mix on that nice seeded, slightly end of the loaf. Whoa. With a glass straw. Ooh. Ten out of 10 breakfast. Just what I need. So I'm gonna go enjoy this, then I'll get ready and we'll leave to go to the Sherlock's offices. So we just filmed Cafe Confessions.
I know, we lost a phone halfway through.
Because it's literally like, I mean, it's like probably like 32.
degrees?
Is it 34 now?
Yeah.
Something like that. But we have a nice coffee and then I'm going to be jumping on the TikTok live. I'm also building my perfect snack plate, so I'll show you guys.
Oh yeah,
that.
we're excited about that. Oh, can I have some of that?
It's a good one. It's got my calamari pots. It's got hot and spicy pickles. It's got pizza crisps.
That's going to trump Sapna's.
No,
I know Sap's got her Perello olives.
I love anchovies. She does have anchovies.
Yeah. Mine is
Those calamari,
undefeated.
they're like how many grams
20
of protein?
grams of protein.
Easy. Suddenly I'll be volunteering to help film.
M&S finest. And then we'll go back home and we'll make some lunch together. This is where we're having the live. And then this is
Like a roast dinner.
snack bag.
No,
Yeah, I know, it's a good one.
they were doing M&S, so I went quite like basic. Emily, just testing 1, 2, 3.
That was super fun. The girls in the office are always so gorgeous. They're so fashionable and stylish as well. Guys, there is nothing better when you're really hot and thirsty than a Ribena. That was a sweaty walk home. But I did pass a bakery. Oh, take my hat off. Did pass a bakery called August Bakery. Look at that seeded sourdough. I also got a little sweet treat. This brioche apricot bun, creme anglaise and frangipane. Wow. Literally like 5 minutes to make my lunch and try and eat it slowly and calmly. Let's make speedy, quick, easy, accessible lunch. Right, so this is a perfect example of why meal prep doesn't necessarily mean complete meals, but can really, really save you when you are needing something quick and simple. So salads that don't go soggy are the answer. I've got a whole series of that on my social media channels. So yesterday I saw my brother and his girlfriend for the solar eclipse. So I wanted to pack a nice little picnic up in Battersea Park. So I always like to take kind of like a big core salad that's got loads of stuff in, and then I pair it with a protein, then you've got all your hummus and tzatziki to kind of like top it all off on, have it with crisps. It was lovely. So this is some leftover of that salad that I made. This is a quinoa, cherry tomato, red onion. It's then got some kind of M&S deli picky bits. So I chopped up the roasted artichokes from M&S, also the roasted peppers from M&S, added loads of fresh mint, parsley and cucumber, tossed it with a little bit of olive oil and vinegar, and that is going to be the base of my lunch today. So this is the kind of thing that I made this yesterday. It holds really well. It's not going to go all weird and slimy and gross, something that I don't want to eat the day after. This will also be good tomorrow as well. So that is literally lunch for the next 3 days. Prep things like this, because this is what is going to save you when you are in a rush and you don't have time. Then I've got my leftover picnic bits. I kind of threw all into here. I mean, it's a little bit messy, but I've got some slaw, I've got some leftover chicken, some prawns. So I'm just gonna kind of scoop those out. Add a little bit of extra red pepper because a red pepper contains more vitamin C than an orange. And I just love to get these in, especially if you are thinking about kind of skin supporting, antioxidants, also immune system. Add some extra fresh slices of cucumber, pair with some pickled red onions. I'm probably gonna add an extra dollop of cottage cheese just for that creaminess, maybe a little nice little crumble of feta, and that's gonna be my lovely lunch. And it's still gonna follow those pillars and principles of high protein, high fiber, lots of lovely diversity, so much in here for my gut to eat. Artichokes are actually fantastic for your gut health, really high in these fermentable fibers that your gut bacteria just feed off. So let's assemble this little plate. I'll talk you through it and we can go and have some nice lunch. So starting off with a little bit of that quinoa salad. Quinoa is also a fantastic plant-based protein, also naturally gluten-free. So anyone who's got any allergies, always a good one. Then about a quarter of a red pepper, just cut that into nice little strips. The vitamin C is also more preserved when you have it raw. And then a nice couple of slices of cucumber. It's so hot today, and when it's really hot, I actually really like to rehydrate with some of my foods. So having things like cucumber that has a really high water content actually does count towards how much water you consume in a day. So if you're thinking about 2 litres, yes, you get the litres from the actual glasses of water you drink, but you also get the water from your food. The nice slaw, cabbage and beetroot, that's going to be a really good source of fibre. Also those lovely kind of super pink colours I just love to eat. Then that is my protein from the leftover picnic, slightly dyed pink from the slaw. But again, that's about a palm-sized portion of protein there. I also brought this little kind of feta olive pot, so I just add some of that feta on. Then I always like to incorporate some pickles. These are the M&S pickled red onions. I do normally actually like to make them myself. Pickles are really good for blood sugar balance and also satiation, so just add a little dollop of those on. I'm so sorry, this is I did have a recipe in mind that I was going to make, but I literally don't have enough time to make it, so we'll save that one for another day. This is an assembly lunch, but I always hope that you guys find these things useful, because it's one of those things, in a dream world, we all just want to cook from scratch all the time, but I try and make these what I eat in a day as genuine and realistic as possible. So a nice big dollop of cottage cheese there. So that's how we're looking. So I've got a nice balance and mix of loads of different plants. I've got my quinoa as my carb, but also my plant-based protein. Then I've got my protein portion with the prawns, that peri-peri chicken, also protein from my cottage cheese and the feta. Lovely bit of slaw, all of these different types of vegetables, pickled red onions, again, which are really gonna help with satiation. I'm just gonna incorporate some spice, and there we go. That is my super quick, simple, chuck it all together lunch. I think the most important thing for you guys to take away here from a nutrition front is having things prepped like that quinoa salad is what makes this. So I didn't necessarily have to have loads of like picky bits. I've also got some pre-cooked chicken. I could put some tuna with this, but that same principle. Core foundation salad that has that right balance of carbs and volume, that won't go soggy, that will prep really well. These are my Black and Bloom containers, by the way. You can use my code Emily10 for 10% off their site. They are the best in the whole wide world. They are leak proof. You can put soup in here. It's not gonna go anywhere. They are airtight. They genuinely keep things really, really well. And the stainless steel is also microwavable. Trust me, like if you don't believe me, just read the bottom, but Black and Bloom are amazing. But I still am hitting all of my nutrition goals here. I'm getting in the fiber, I'm getting in the protein, I'm getting loads of that diversity. There is so much in here that my body loves and needs. lovely portion. It's going to keep me really nice and energized all the way up until dinner. And this is one of the reasons as well why I don't think people say, oh, do not snack. I genuinely don't need a snack when I have a really nice balanced lunch plate like this. This is going to keep me kind of just genuinely content and full. So I'm going to enjoy this now, and I guess I will see you guys for dinner. Little sweet treat after lunch. Little brioche with apricots, a little bit of creme pat, frangipane. Ooh. I want to get a good bit at the middle. It is what the lovely girl in the shop recommended, but yeah, it's good. That'll be a better bite. This is one of my favourite things. Hi, back. Oh my God, it's so hot outside. It's like 35 degrees outside. I'm not gonna moan about the weather anymore, but I just nipped to one of my favourite little delis just to pick a few bits and bobs up. But a package has arrived, so I stocked up on some new things from Marks and Spencer's just for meal prep. So I thought I would unbox and show you guys because I was like watching these videos. So number one, so annoyingly, my video just cut out halfway through. So I'll have to just show you guys what I got. Already shown you the nice little stainless steel container. Marks and Spencer's has just released a whole new range. I like how the top is clear. This is a really good, big, flat size. So I feel like if I prep like my breakfast muffins, this is gonna be perfect for putting them all in. Lovely new salad bowl with this gorgeous like little fluted edge. This was £30, which I think is a bargain. It's massive. You guys know I'm partial to a stainless steel mixing bowl. Welcome to the family. I saw these. There's two, stackable as well, which I love. And they've got these rubber bases, which means they don't move, which is one of the most annoying things when I'm like stirring at the moment with my stainless steel pots. They slip and slide everywhere. So I absolutely love those. And then finally, because I'm just a sucker for fridge storage, these are a triple stack of storage containers that keep all of your produce fresher for longer. So they keep the moisture out. So that's perfect for like berries. That I can do any sort of like pre-chopped thing. And then this for my larger veg, which I love. I just feel like that's a really great little kitchen haul. And from my little deli, I just got a couple of things for dinner. So I'm gonna be doing chicken with like a Thai coconut sauce, jasmine rice, and then just some steamed vegetables. So I got some mange choux and some broccoli. Stocked up on my favorite sprouts. So my broccoli sprouts, which are super high in something called sulforaphane, which is a potent antioxidant. Like it's so good for you. This is a bit of that bougie health food thing, but for me, this is worth the money and the investment. And then also some sprouted mixed beans. I love these. They're a great source of fibre, also a brilliant source of protein. And then they had 30% off the Reemies chocolate banana bites. And oh my God, these are so good. I don't know what they put in them, but I love them. And that's my very silly kind of, I also got a little evening walk out of that as well. But I'm going to pack this all away and then I'm gonna get changed and we'll make some dinners together. When I got changed, I managed to forget to put my mic on my new top. So I recorded my whole cooking video with no sound. Here is me making the Thai coconut curry sauce. I stick everything into a blender so it's super, super easy. The rice is already on. Make sure you wash your rice. I feel like that's the actual secret of a good rice and just no one seemed to teach me when I was young. Mum, I'm looking at you. Then I did some really nice crispy skinned chicken breast fillets, which I brown off in my cast iron. Now back over to me where I realised that my mic was off and put it back on again. I'm absolutely gutted. I left my mic on my old top when I got changed, so I recorded the whole dinner without sound. What we're having for dinner is a version of my kind of blender Thai red curry. We've got crispy skinned chicken. Let's do a, can you hear that with the mic? The mic that now is on my chest. Which I have crisped up the skin in a cast iron skillet first, and then I bring it up to temperature in the air fryer, but you can also just bring it up to temperature in the oven. Then we've got gorgeous jasmine rice. Yes, it's white rice. I could use brown, it's gonna have a little bit more fibre in, but I like the taste of this. And not every single thing has to be the healthiest version of itself. Washed it 3 times, cooked it in nice salted water, drained it, popped the lid on, and then it just cooks in the residual steam. Then vegetables of choice, which I just add a few tablespoons of water into the base. So that's actually a really good method and way of cooking it. Even if you don't have a steamer, it's much better than boiling. So you save a lot more of the nutrients by doing that method. So a few teaspoons of water, veg in, a little pinch of salt, pop the lid on, bring it up to a boil, steam for about 3 to 4 minutes, and your veg is done. And it still has a lovely crunch, but you retain all of that goodness. And this is my nice Thai red curry sauce, blended together with garlic, shallot, soy sauce, fish sauce. It's not my easiest thing to say. Red curry paste, which I really like the Thai paste, the Thai taste one. It's one of my favorites. Then I had a little bit of lemongrass and kaffir lime leaves left over, so I added those in. Then I like to reduce it down so it goes into like a really lovely thick sauce. So that's that. So those are my 3 components of dinner. I'm gonna slice the chicken breast, serve the rice, add a nice little bit of sauce, side of vegetables, finish it off with some fresh coriander, and that is gonna be dinner done. Husband's chicken. And that lovely, rich coconut sauce. Extra chili flakes, because I love it. Tiny little bit for husband, just to make it look pretty. Let's do a little try. So sorry about the sound again, guys. Nightmare. The crispy chicken skin is everything. And that rich, creamy red curry sauce, then all of the lemongrass, kaffir lime leaf just brings so much punch. But if you don't have that stuff, literally don't worry about it. Just any Thai paste, blend it up with that extra shallot and garlic just to give it that extra oomph and kick. I did finish it off with a tiny squeeze of lime juice for just some bright acidity, which I always love in a dish like this, but that's perfect. It's just simple, it's quick, it's easy, and exactly the kind of thing that I need. And again, it still follows the same principles. Protein and fibre are my anchor here. Yes, I could have used brown rice, get a bit of extra fibre there, but this is just my favourite rice, and it always feels like a kind of restaurant quality thing. So that's our dinners. We're gonna go enjoy this now. Thank you so much for joining me on another What I Eat in a Day. I hope, as always, you find it inspiring, you find it useful, and my little kind of tips and tricks just to sneak in easy nutrition here and there. Join me maybe for a little sweet treat later. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. This is basically one of my favourite little combinations. This is my frozen blueberries with yogurt, some extra crushed blackberries, and peanut butter.
I've got M&S's version of what they call minstrels, but they're like coloured, like massive Smarties, basically.
Massive Smarties.
And a glass of sweet wine.
Hollands.